Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Pre Law Perspective, brought to you by the McMaster Pre Law Society. The field of law is sparse and filled with opportunity, and it may be hard to choose how you want to approach law school. No fret, we're here to help. Today, we hope to give your stress some wings to fly away as we dive into an international approach to opportunity. Today's episode will feature a dive into the particulars of law schools in the U.S. We hope that you come out considering taking your approach unprecedented and unexpected. Grab your notebooks and pens as we dive in. And today, joined with me is
Emma. I'm one of the co-presidents for this year.
Izzy, I'm one of the vice presidents.
And Luca back again as a J for productions.
Perfect.
Traditionally, applicants are required to take the LSAT. The average LSAT score is a 152, but bigger schools such as Harvard, Yale, and Stanford have an average applying score of 170 or above. The LSAT tests logic, reasoning, and reading comprehension. It's common to have a strong GPA. The top schools range around 3.7 to 3.9. Law schools look at trends, mostly improvement over time. Improvement over time is an important factor as it can offset early struggles. Another note for the LSAT, specifically in the US, they actually do put a little more value to it with your application than we do here in Canada. For your personal statement, it should be authentic and reflective, not as much as a resume, similar to Canada. Typically, applicants should have 2 to 3 letters of recommendations from professors or employers who know your analytical skills and work ethic. However, professor recommendations are more valued. Here's a helpful timeline for applying to law schools. First, you should prepare for the LSAT using study methods like paid programs and general textbooks. This is typically done by students in years 3 to 4, and the application portals typically open up in September to November. Finally, the decisions and acceptances for these law schools tend to be given out between December and March.
Yeah, so pretty similar to here, I would say.
Mhm.
So, like, if you're applying to Canadian law schools, honestly, just do it at the same time.
Yeah,
as
honestly, the
American.
steps to study and even like apply.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's like different schools and everything, but it's generally almost identical in the application.
Yeah,
process.
I think the only thing is obviously, I feel they don't look at things like, well, not that they don't look at things holistically, whereas like Canada does, but they do tend to like weigh LSAT and GPA like more than like a personal statement. What do you guys think of that?
I think like it's true because like I know like we even had the law students we had the other day,
Yeah.
and they were really, a lot of them I was kind of surprised were
Wait.
saying that the personal statements were really helpful for
Yeah.
them, and some of them, like they said, like people can get in just by their personal statements, which I think in
Yeah.
the US it obviously still helps. I just think they don't weigh it as much as
yeah.
we do.
Because also like with your personal statement, you can also like use it to help explain like why maybe in a certain year like you didn't do as good as like other ones. Another thing I wanted to mention about law schools in the US, at least from the research that I did last year, I remember there was something, I don't know if it's like in terms of like the policy for like tuition, but at some schools, Canadian law student, like people who are from Canada aren't considered international. Like they're not.
Oh no, I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. Actually, I read that a couple times
Yeah,
too.
so
But I think
if
it's
even-
dependent on the school, right?
Yeah, I think it is. At least last year, I think I was looking at Yale, I want to say, and it wasn't like they don't view Canadian students as international. So they would, I think it was, again, in terms of tuition, like they would technically pay the same tuition as Americans do instead of an international student tuition.
Mhm.
Lucky
Okay, and
us.
then you don't have to apply through like a different stream or anything, right? Like,
What do you mean?
I don't know, for international students, it's like all just like the same pool.
I was gonna say, sorry, on the topic of like tuition and like being a student from Canada, you can also like still apply for like OSAP, I'm pretty sure, and it still
Oh,
is-
like even to go to the
yeah,
US?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So you can still get like financial aid. Either it's well, actually, it might not be OSAP, but it's like their version of that. Okay, so why choose a U.S. school over a Canadian law school? So attending law school in the U.S. might seem daunting. However, depending on your career goals, budget, and desired area of legal practice, you might find an easier path to success taking your education to an American institution. Discovering your career path is an important part of attending law school. It provides you with the opportunity to explore all types of law and develop skills you can apply across different job sectors. A major difference between the US law career path and Canada's is the fields which you can enter after graduation. The market for legal services in Canada is smaller, with far fewer big firms. There's a heavy variation in the law from province to province, restricting your postgraduate options further. If you're interested in government and public policy, Canadian law schools may be for you. Many Canadian graduates transfer to a career in politics after their Juris Doctor. By contrast, American law will offer you that Harvey Specter dream you've always imagined. The corporate market for lawyers is much larger, with global law firms and specialized practices across cities such as New York, Los Angeles, and Washington, D.C. Entry-level corporate work is also far easier to find in the United States, as a larger market requires far more associate positions. Furthermore, the United States offers far more transition opportunities for lawyers who choose not to practice within a larger firm. Venture law, private practice, lobbying, and tech policy are all viable transitions from an American law graduate. The next major difference revolves around your budget for school and salary post-graduation. The reality of American law school is that you're paying for the best to receive the best. Tuition for American law schools typically range between $50,000 and $70,000, while a Canadian JD is roughly $15,000 to $40,000 per year. American practitioners get compensated after graduation for this difference, though. An entry-level position in America can be anywhere from $60,000 to $215,000 annually, depending on firm size and location, compared to Canada's $60,000 and $110,000 numbers. The final factor to consider when making your decision is where you want to practice law. The Canadian JD is only transferable to a few American states under specific circumstances, meaning that many Canadian lawyers will be unable to practice law in much of the U.S. If you want to practice outside of the largest American cities, it's a good idea to explore options for law school that allow you to work in that specific area or state. So now for some discussion questions. Do you guys think that you would want to study in the U.S. or Canada, and why?
Typically for me, like I've looked at both, but honestly, I think it might, like on my personal view, studying in Canada might be my go-to, and then doing like a lawyer position or any other thing I end up in, maybe then go to the States, because they are kind of similar. Like it doesn't have to be in Canada or the States to do school. You have opportunities for both. I just think that going to a school around here, you have a lot of good connections as well. So it can really help you in like the long run if you play your cards right in university.
Yeah.
I feel like I probably would also like to stay in Canada for law school, just because of my undergrad being in Canada as well, and making those connections, and kind of wanting to stay near all of the people that I've met in the field. And yeah, I just kind of like the smaller atmosphere.
That's very, I feel like I'm like going to the law schools in the US, I feel like it's so like literally in our intro daunting. Like it's just like
100%
very
it is,
big.
yeah.
It's like it reminds me of like in the movies how it's like in Legally Blonde, where it's like everyone's out to get each other, like no one wants you to succeed. But like I bet you it's probably not like that.
It's
to a
honestly,
certain
it's
extent.
That is not really reassuring.
50-50, right?
Yeah, like
Don't go there mean.
no. I mean, I think like again, like if you do want that, like I feel like people who are like having those like movie kind of expectations of like law school, like then I think like an American law school would be like good for you. Or if you honestly just like want to get out of Canada but you don't want to go that far, because I know a lot of people obviously also go to the UK, but I don't know. I don't think I would want to go to the UK
Yeah,
to
I
do
think I'd
law
go to the
school.
US over the UK. Like me personally, I would study in the UK. Like I think it'd be good to get like that kind of insight. But I think if I was like end up as a lawyer, like right now, if I had to pick, I think I would do the States, because there's just so many like
Yeah,
think of New York in general,
yeah,
right?
there's a lot of I feel like opportunities. Yeah, UK. So as we mentioned, the price to study in America is quite expensive. So if money weren't a factor and they had like similar prices to here, do you think you guys would like be more open to wanting to go to a law school in the US, or still no?
2000%. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so, because it's just the price is there. It's like
It's like crazy.
yeah, like insane. Like you're gonna be in debt for a long
Yeah.
time. I'll be
I mean,
so
it's
real.
said that they compensate them though afterwards,
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I wonder how
allegedly.
that works.
How do they compensate?
But like
them?
compensate like
They're
how
like,
much?
all right,
is
here's
the
your money
issue.
back.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I mean, I think it's more of the sense of like with the jobs that you'll get afterwards. All right, for this next portion, we asked you guys on the Instagram account to give us 3 schools in the US that you guys wanted to hear from. So, due to popular demand, today we will be reviewing Cornell, NYU, and Yale.
So the first school that we're going to talk about is Yale. And for those who don't know, Yale is actually in New Haven, Connecticut, and is typically ranked number 1 for most law schools in the US, which is very high, and it ranges from year to year. Typically, it's actually known for producing Supreme Court justices, professors, and policymakers from all the law students that go there. So, for some general admission information, Yale is extremely selective. They receive typically around 4,500 applicants every year, and they only accept 4 to 5% of those applicants, which tends to be around 200 students, give or take. There's no specific GPA or LSAT cutoff, but the averages should be about a 3.9 plus for GPA and a 175 plus for the LSAT. They look for curiosity, originality, and leadership potential, especially in the personal statements. And on the personal statements topic, they're less about why law is your choice and more about your thinking process and personal voice. Like they don't want it to just be a standard resume, they want it to have a bit of character to it. On that, it's also a 250-word essay, and it must be pretty original, like not just some standardized kind of resume or essay. And it also is very helpful to have letters of recommendation because they value academic references more than your professional ones.
Also, sorry, I just want to say a 250-word essay is crazy.
This is not enough.
That's like 5
Yeah.
words.
That's what I mean. Like, you
That's-
can't say
That's literally
anything.
like 2 sentences.
It's like they must like their originality. Like
That's
you have to have like a
crazy. Yeah,
bang.
you are like a very competitive and like want to be like top of the top. Then
That's
like,
where you
yeah,
go.
that's where you want to go.
Like it's
but
even like I said, like
jeez.
they what was it? They are known for producing like Supreme
Supreme
Court
Court, yeah, that's
justices, which is
crazy.
crazy.
yeah, I mean, I guess like not that like getting there will be easy, but like then afterwards it's like okay, like you're kind of set up. Like, clearly,
That's their compensation.
yeah, literally.
Next, on the topic of Yale, specifically now for the Canadian students, if you guys want to apply there, you must send your transcripts through the LSAC, which stands for the Law School Admission Council. The exchange rate and US tuition is unfortunately expensive, but there are lots of scholarships and aid that are available to Canadian students. And then just to wrap it up, some basic Yale facts. The smallest class size they have there is actually around 200 students per year. So it's a very personal styled law school. They don't have typically average grades or class ranks, so it's really subjective if you think about it that way. They have a heavy focus on public interest law, research, and academic careers through these classes. And overall, they encourage independent projects and clinics early on in their education so that you can really be like immersed into what they kind of strive to teach. And yeah, that's it for Yale, I think, for basic facts.
So the next school that we will be talking about is NYU. NYU is the New York University, so obviously located in New York, among 14 other law schools in New York. So quite a big variation to choose from, but NYU is one of the ones that you guys asked for, so that's why we'll be talking about it today. So NYU is ranked number 8, and it is known for their clinical approach to legal education. Known for philosophy, economics, politics, history, and social theory, students often pursue clinics throughout their study period. So a little bit on the admission information. So NYU is highly selective in its admissions process, seeking students of exceptional ability. Applicants must be at least 18 years of age and have acquired a university diploma. It is estimated that around 10,500 individuals from every state applied for the fall 2025 class, and more than 400 students are represented in the pool of applicants. So a little bit more than Yale. Although the vast majority of candidates showcase academic excellence, undergraduate GPA and LSAT are not the only determinants of admission, as no set of grades ensure admission or denial to the school. After considering what is given in the application, it reviews undergraduate transcripts with attention to grades, class rank, and given ratios for pass and fail courses. Emphasis is put on reference letters and personal statement to reveal the applicant's character, as NYU does not interview applicants.
All right, that said, here are the statistics for the entering JD class for fall 2024. For the LSAT, the 75th percentile LSAT score was 173, 50th percentile being 172, and the 25th percentile being 169. As for GPA, the 75th percentile is 3.96, 50th percentile being 3.91, and 25th percentile being 3.8.
That's like really close. Like even though like the percentiles are so
Yeah.
different, those numbers are like
No,
the
for the LSAT,
LSAT,
it was 1 point.
a 1 point
Yeah.
difference between a 75th percentile and a 50th percentile. That's
And,
crazy.
like, even the
Being,
other one,
like,
like for a
50th,
and those are
3 points.
also like
half of the class or like
Yeah.
the 25th portion.
and also those are really high scores anyways. So then like being like a 1 point off, that's crazy.
As for who they are, 59% of the applicants were women, 44% were students of color, 72% were out of college for 1 to 4 years, 8% were out of college for 5 or more years, and 7% held advanced or professional degrees.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like with the school, like it just kind of shows like I feel like NYU I feel like New York in general is a very like diverse city. And I guess that probably is like also shown through like their law schools. But yeah, I feel like also like this like talk about like the college like being out of school for that long. I feel like a lot of people here, at least, like we were talking about this kind of in like the Meet the VPs podcast, but like a lot of people here want to go like directly to law school like right afterwards. But I feel like a lot of the times, like even last year at the events, different law students and like lawyers were saying that like a lot of the times by the time people get to like law school, some people already have like fully formed and established like careers and everything like that. So it's not
Yeah.
like bad or like abnormal to like have something else, or even if you just like take a while off before or like working or
I
something.
think it's also better when you get a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone like I spoke to a lawyer once, and like the general sense that I get is that there's no harm in like even taking a gap year. Like
Yeah.
any experience, like any time off, like is just gonna build
Further
more
build,
experiences
yeah.
for your resume, and so like there's really no harm that can come out of that.
Yeah. Do you guys think that you would like
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm doing it for the money.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Wait, doing what?
No, because I heard a lawyer say like he works in mergers and acquisitions, which
Uh-huh.
is what I want to do. And he said when they ever work, they always end up hiring an accountant to work with them.
Mm,
I'm already doing my degree in accounting, so I'm like I might as well get my CPA before,
yeah.
Mm.
Wait, so I don't know if this
so I
is
get paid
a-
more.
right. I don't know if this is a dumb question though. So when you said that they hire accountants,
Yeah.
would you have to go to law school then or no?
No, like the lawyers work with accountants.
Right.
So yeah, I would still have to go to law school if
Okay.
I want. I'm saying I can do both jobs
Oh, yeah,
by
yeah, yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
I would have to hire someone else to work with me.
Mm.
Oh, smart! I thought you meant you would want to be
The accountant. Yeah, me
No,
too.
no, I'm just saying instead of me hiring an
Before.
accountant, I can just do both.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Wait, how long is that process of like
Takes like a year to do.
oh,
It's not too
Yeah,
bad.
it's
one
not bad.
single year?
Because you just need work experience at the same
Mm.
time.
How
It's not
is
that
there like
bad.
a like minimum like work experience?
I think it's like 4,000 hours. I think.
So like days, weeks, months,
I don't know.
years.
They just write 4,000 hours.
Right.
What's-
The concept of
The concept of 4,000 hours.
166 days of work.
okay,
But
that's
It's like half a year.
no, but not really, because that's expecting me to work 24 hours.
so
You guys don't
You
work
could do
24 hour
that,
shifts.
Ashwin. If anyone could do that, it's you.
Luca just actually does not sleep.
No, I worked actually the past 3 days, 24 hours, just nonstop.
Next, we're going to be talking about Cornell. So while Cornell is in New York, it is actually 4 hours away from New York City. It is ranked top 20 for American law schools and has the 5th most graduates at big law firms in America. Cornell Law prides itself on its close-knit collegial community of learners, which promotes success among graduates. 98.9% of their graduates end up employed 10 months after graduation, and they have a median private sector salary of $225K annually. They prepare their law students exceptionally with a 96.41% pass rate for the bar. They feature an extremely low student to faculty ratio of 5-1, offering unique opportunities to get to know your professors.
Do you think that that would like hurt in a sense because if they don't have many professors?
I feel like they must have big classes then, is what I'm thinking. Because
Yeah.
if they don't have as many professors, like
I mean, isn't that this kind of like right now? At least like the three of us, we're in the same thing, so it's like we have the same profs, but like
just different
yeah,
classes.
just I mean, I guess it also just makes like
I feel like
Yeah.
it depends on like how you want to go about it, because like some
Yeah.
people do like the bigger classes and some do want to actually have the relationship with their prof.
But this one, yeah, it said it's a close knit community, so like
I don't know. Yeah, it might be.
I guess so.
I self-study everything. I only go to like 2
So
classes because
stunning.
it's participation. And that's it.
That's crazy.
Tutorial participation.
No, but even
That's literally it.
there are 96.41% pass rate for the bar. That's like really good.
Yeah.
Like
It's like,
literally,
who's
it's like
not passing
yeah,
the
like
bar?
if
Kim
you go,
Kardashian.
Yeah,
Oh,
actually.
yeah.
but didn't she go to LA? Law
I
school?
don't know.
Something? I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, apparently she didn't even actually go to law school. Like she's
Oh.
just doing
So-
some like
makes
certificate
a lot of
thing.
sense.
Yeah.
That's so.
Fraud.
I like how you know that. Ashton's updated
I would not
on
expect
the,
you to know that. Yeah.
on the Kim K law pop
I love
culture.
Twitter.
debate.
We're going to be talking about the admissions information. So the most recent class for Cornell Law School had 4,641 applications and 218 enrolled students. The median GPA of students was 3.92. However, to be in the 75th percentile of applicants, you required a 3.97 GPA. And the LSAT scores of the entering class ranged from 168 to 175, with the median LSAT of 173.
Yeah. So I guess that makes sense. I mean, again, like these schools, they're all very competitive.
Mhm.
So
They have
yeah.
a higher GPA though. I noticed in the other ones. Like this one is strictly very
Yeah, this
high.
one
Oh,
is
gosh.
like 3.97. That like you need a 4.0. Like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and that's what 75th percentile too. So there's like still a good chunk
Mhm.
that had above that. Wait, what was your story about Cornell?
Oh yeah, so one of my friend goes there, and he was at some party, and he told some guy that he's from Toronto, and he was asking him like, "Oh, do you like the Maple Leafs?" But he doesn't know anything about hockey. Only stuff he knows is from me.
Like your friend?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's like, "Yeah, but he's like the league hates Toronto, and like the commissioner doesn't handle it well or whatever." And it turns out that guy he was talking to was the grandson of the commissioner of the league.
Oh,
That's
That's
crazy.
wow.
The guy who
hilarious.
goes to Cornell?
Yeah.
Damn.
Apparently, like that commissioner, his whole like lineage just went there.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
That's actually hilarious.
Wait, so did the commissioner go there?
Yeah.
Oh. So guys, if you want to be Toronto commissioner, go to Cornell.
And don't diss their grandkids apparently.
Well, that wraps up today's episode of the Pre-Law Perspective. Hopefully, we've given you a better idea of what studying law in the US could actually look like compared to Canada, which is what makes programs like Yale, NYU, and Cornell so unique. Remember, applying to law school is more than numbers and rankings. It's about finding an environment that challenges you, inspires you, and gives you the tools to make a real change wherever you end up going. Thanks for tuning in, and good luck to all our future law students out there. Whether your journey takes you to Toronto or to New York, we'll be cheering you on.
Don't you
Bye.
notice how I get quiet when there's no one else around?